Hey Aquarius, it's Jen here from tarotspirit.net. I'm here doing your May 2016 monthly tarot reading, so thanks so much for dropping by. If you watch some of the other monthly readings, you may notice that this is completely different from some of the earlier ones I posted. Because I did those almost 2 weeks ago, and I'm just sort of in a different, whatever, I just didn't feel that anymore, so I'm doing something different, so I hope that's okay. And I'm just going to pull some cards from Barbara Moore's Steampunk Tarot. I love this deck. It's really funny. I was like, Steampunk isn't my thing. I'm not really into that. So I never felt strongly about this, getting this deck, but then I saw another reader using it, and I was like, oh, that looks kind of nice. And I ended up getting it, and I really love it. It's kind of dark, which I like. I don't feel like it's necessarily reads dark, like reads negative, but literally it's kind of dark, the pictures, and it's kind of a nice, it's just a nice deck to have with all my other 30-something decks. And I have a list of, like, I don't know, 15 more that I want. Here's that Eight of Pentacles. My goodness, we can't escape the Eight of Pentacles. Just really telling us to find something that feeds our soul and how important that is. It's just a theme that's just being driven home time and time again in my readings. So it's probably for me. I don't know. I'll have to think on that. Because I feel like my tarot is my Eight of Pentacles, but I lost my horse last May, and I think part of it is I need to. I've only gone to the barn once, and that was 2 weeks ago since my horse passed away. That's how hard it's been. So it's probably time to move on. All right, come on, last card. So you can take a few deep breaths while I'm waiting for this final card to reveal itself. Oh, we got some bonus cards. Okay. Who am I doing? Aquarius. I'm doing it for, I love Aquarians. I always tell you that. 3 people out of the 5 people in my family are Aquarius sun sign. So we have this somewhat snooty looking queen at the bottom of the deck, but don't worry, she's actually awesome. She has earned the right to dress nicely and be here. She is very hardworking. She's very clever and practical and methodical, and she doesn't just wake up looking like this. You know, she takes the time to present herself in this way, something that I just don't have the drive to do. So the Queen of Pentacles underlying this reading, so the bottom card can either be like a subconscious energy or an energy that's sort of going to rise to the surface, or an energy we can tap into throughout the month. And the energy of the Queen of Pentacles is just that. She's and it isn't depicted well because she is sort of snotty looking in this deck, but it's usually she's the person that makes a house a home. She's the one. She usually has a lovely garden, and you always feel welcome in her house, and there's always like maybe something cooking. And she's very much tied to the home. But, you know, in modern society, she's an excellent manager in the business world as well. And she'd put up really good systems. She doesn't have to be a micromanager because she puts up in such good systems into place. Everyone knows their job and their chores. And she just sort of supervises. You can see she's sort of up high on this, I assume, a staircase here. Supervises and just keeps things going along, and but doesn't need to anymore micromanage things. That would be the negative side of her. So being organized, sort of planning this month and being organized about what you want to do, and sort of just planning it out so that you just have to sort of go through the month and know how things are going to flow, instead of sort of dealing with things as they come, like trying to anticipate and sort of saying, how do I want May to go? Here are the things I want to accomplish. So, I'm in the northern hemisphere, so I want to start really planning if I'm going to garden this year, or planning my trips, or planning, for summer. What do I want to, just thinking about those types of things, and start making a plan, having a plan for things that may come up. So there are a lot of very positive cards on the table. We have the Four of Pentacles at the top. So this is known as the Miser card, but I like to think of this as a card about boundaries. So in this card is usually depicts a man holding very tightly to a bunch of money, a bunch of things, a bunch of possessions. So that's another negative side of the Queen. The Anna Kay Tarot has a wonderful depiction of this card. It's a man, and he's huddled on the ground with like bags of money and things. And there's literally a stone wall, and his wife and kids are on the other side of that wall, sort of frightened and concerned, while he's turned the other way, bent down, huddling over, hugging almost his possessions. And so that's obviously a case of your priorities not being right, and your boundaries being way too strong, to the point where you're excluding your family because you're so intent on protecting things. Now, of course, boundaries can go the other way, and you can allow people to walk all over you. You could just be allowing that wall wouldn't have to be there, and you could have everyone in town coming and taking your stuff. But you don't have to think of merely the things as material things. It can be how much you give of yourself, your time, and things like that. Then we have 2 3s. We have the 3 of Cups and the 3 of Swords. So the 3 of Cups is a lovely card. It's about celebrations. There are lots of celebrations in May. I think there's Mother's Day, graduations, Memorial Day, all sorts of things. So it could just point to an event coming up like that. Having supportive friends or supportive group around you, whether at work or in your personal life. And often when we come together with some people, we can not only get emotional support, but some creative ideas going. And that may be because you do take some sort of a hit that hurts a little bit this month. I don't really see any other super troublesome cards, so I think it's probably a minor thing. Some of you could suffer a breakup of a relationship, but it could be any sort of situation where something sort of hurts. You hear something that sort of hurts on some level. And being together with friends can help soothe that sort of pain, and getting perspective, and remembering that it isn't just this one person or situation, that you do have lots of other good things. And the Hanged Man echoes or reinforces, he's the way to gain a new perspective, if there are situations like, say, you just had a situation end or something happen that hurt you, taking a step back, taking some time out. And of course there's a grieving process if something happened that hurt you, and honor that process. It's a process for a reason. but don't try not to stay stuck in it. You know what I'm saying? There is a point where it becomes sort of a bad habit. And the hangman's like, well, you can either sit there and sit and be like, this sucks, this sucks, this sucks. I didn't want this. Why did this happen? Blah, 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 blah. Or you could say, you know what? Okay, it happened. I've gone through the process of sort of grieving, but okay, so here I am. So are there new opportunities? Is there wisdom to be had in this situation? Can I take lessons from this and move forward? Can I look at things from a different perspective and gain some enlightenment, which is what this symbolizes, and moving forward? You have 2 knights here. So things are changing emotionally and how you think about things. So I really feel like you will take whatever the situation is. And again, I don't feel like it's a big thing with the 3 of Swords. I think it's going to have a big impact moving forward. On how you think about things, your perspective, and your emotional state. And you're going to come through stronger. Because then we have the Victory card. The 8 of Pentacles. Finding that which feeds your soul. This situation may prompt you to really think about, well, maybe I've been doing things for other people, and maybe I need to do what fulfills my soul, and it may prompt you to find something. And it results in a more balanced life. And I always joke that the Temperance card is, I'm a Sagittarius, is the card of Sagittarius, as is the Hierophant. But that this sort of haunts me. But whenever I'm living a more balanced life, oh my God, I do feel so much better. I don't know why I resist it. It doesn't make any sense because it's really a positive card, but it's so hard that I don't know, that I sort of, I'm like, oh, I need to have more balance. So try not to let it stress you out. And again, she's able to bring balance because she's methodical and thoughtful and plans and just puts everything in place and then follows her plan. It's kind of that difficult and that simple, you know? It's just about actually doing it. And then we have these other 2 cards flip out. We have the 2 of Swords and the 7 of Swords. So I feel like you had a difficult decision to make, and which was this, and probably because of someone else's behavior in the situation, and so you had to make a difficult decision. But this decision is going to bring more balance. It's going to bring victory, balance, changes, positive changes in emotions, positive changes in how you think. You're going to feel more grounded and in charge and on top of your life. So if you have a tough decision to make, you know, this month, you know, you have to do what is best for you in your heart. You can't please everyone, and just know, but making the hard decision, making the right decision, not the easy decision. That's it. Will greatly benefit you in the long run. It'll bring more balance. It'll help you find that which feeds your soul, and you'll be victorious. And you have a lot of support around you to help you through this time. So thank you so much for watching, Aquarius. Did I say Leo before? I'm doing Aquarius. I knew that. And I hope you have a really great May, and I'll see you at the next reading. Take care.